Welcome to this virtual learning object. My name is Miguel Acuña Colmenares, and in this presentation I will talk about designing, listening, and speaking activities. This presentation is for the course Material Design. Designing material for today's students has become a real challenge for teachers all around the world. Fortunately, there are plenty of tips and resources teachers can find online. Let's talk about the objectives of this presentation. First of all, present the strategies for developing listening and speaking skills in face-to-face and virtual environments. And secondly, give advice on how to help students develop listening and speaking skills in face-to-face and virtual environments. Let's start with designing listening materials. These are some tips to design listening activities. Let's start with face-to-face environments. First of all, prepare your students by giving them different listening strategies. They can use these strategies in and out of class. Teaching listening strategies give the students different tools for them to improve their listening skills. Number 2. Think of different listening activities to practice in a face-to-face class. The listening activity you choose depends on the materials you have and how much time can be dedicated to the activity. Try to encourage active peer listening in the classroom by interacting. Number 3. Use authentic material. Using authentic material such as interviews, podcasts, or short documentaries can help students connect with the real world and learn new things. Number 4. Have a proper space to carry out the listening activity. The students need to be in a quiet, comfortable place to stay focused on the activity. Finally, number 5. Listen to the audio before doing the activity. Preparation is key. Get everything ready before you start the activity. The audio or video you will use, the sound system, the material needed, etc. Now let's continue with virtual environments. First tip here is to search for authentic listening material online. There are plenty of material you can use and you can find on the internet, such as videos, audios, podcasts, short films, talks, etc. Number 2, design interactive listening games online. You can use platforms such as Kahoot or create PowerPoints interactive presentations, including the audio material you will use. Number 3, encourage students to be in a quiet, comfortable space. It is important for them to be in a quiet, comfortable space, even if they are at home or maybe in an office or wherever they are. Since in a virtual environment, sometimes we can have some distractions from the outside. Number 4, divide the listening activity into steps. Follow the structures of pre-listening, while listening, and post-listening, and guide the whole process. Finally, prepare your students by giving them different listening strategies. This is important because the more strategies they learn when doing listening activities, the more they are going to improve their skills, their listening skills. Moving on to designing and speaking materials. Tips to design speaking activities. First of all, face-to-face environments. Number 1, have in mind the goal of the speaking activity. Is it fluency, pronunciation, intonation, or communication? Number 2, model the speaking activity or practice. This is important because students need to understand what they are being asked. You can present this by using videos or audios with conversations. Number 3, give clear instructions. Be clear and concise when giving the instructions. Number 4, encourage students to interact to each other. Do this by asking questions and have them ask questions to each other and even to you, the teacher. Finally, teach speaking strategies. Teach how to pronounce correctly, common expressions to communicate ideas and opinions, question intonation, etc. Moving on, virtual environments. Number 1, do brainstorm activities. In a virtual environment, you can watch a video, listen to a conversation, and even read a short article and ask students their opinion about it. This is a good way to use English in a spontaneous way. Number 2, divide the speaking activity into steps. Follow the structure of pre-speaking, while speaking, and post-speaking, and guide the whole process. Number 3, use platforms that let students work in teams. You can use platforms such as Zoom or Teams that allow you to divide the class into small groups, which is a better way for students to interact in a virtual environment. Number 4, teach speaking strategies. Teach how to pronounce correctly, common expressions to communicate ideas and opinions, question intonation, etc. And finally, give students proper feedback. Show them what they are doing right and motivate them to keep working on those aspects they need to improve. Conclusions. Designing listening and speaking activities for an online environment is challenging, but they can be very helpful with good preparation. Teachers must be aware of the students' need when preparing the activities. Using authentic material allows students to learn new things and connect with the real world. Encouraging interaction is very important to develop speaking skills in students.